Game Analysis. Hello chess friends, welcome to another exciting analysis. In today's video, we're delving into a classic chess masterpiece that took place in the historic Lodz Tournament on December 26, 1907. The game features two legendary players of their time, Georg Rotlewi and Akiba Rubinstein. So, buckle up and join us as we break down the key moves, understand the players' thought processes, and witness the beauty of chess. Rotlewi starts with d4, the queen's pawn opening. And Rubinstein replies with d5, knight to f3, the Zukertort variation. e6, e3, c5, c4, knight to c6, knight to c3, and knight to f6, transposing to the symmetrical variation of the Tarrasch defense. Rotlewi plays d takes on c4, taking away from the center while allowing black to develop his dark-squared bishop by capturing on c4. a3, preparing b4, and expand on the queen side. Rubinstein plays a3, making room for his bishop if needed. b4, as planned, and bishop to d6, changing the diagonal. White here cannot win a pawn by playing c takes on d5, e takes, knight takes, and finally queen takes. Due to this simple tactic, bishop takes on b4 with check, and revealing a discovered attack on the white queen. So back to the position. And here Rotlewi goes for bishop to b2, claiming the long diagonal. Rubinstein castles his king to safety, queen to d2, and queen to e2. Rotlewi develops his bishop to d3 and prepares to castle. However, this turns out to be an inaccurate move, because after bishop to d3, d takes on c4, bishop takes b5, and bishop back to c3. In this way, white has lost a few moves with his bishop, while black has gained some space and has taken the lead in development. Rubinstein continues with rook to d8, and Rotlewi moves his queen to d2 to prevent any potential future tactics, given that the rook was aligned with the queen. Black continues with bishop to b7, the optimal square, and white castles. The position is almost symmetrical, but black has won to tempos previously with the rook on d8, and it's his turn to play. So he continues with knight to e5, knight takes knight, and bishop captures on e5. White has to be aware of potential tactics. For instance, if white plays inaccurately, black can respond with bishop takes on h2, followed by king takes, and then queen to d6 check, winning back the bishop on d3 with a pawn advantage. In this position, white should have moved the rook from f to d1. However, Rotlewi chose not to take risks and let the two bishops target the king. Instead, he played f4 to kick back the dark square's bishop, even though it weakens his king side. Bishop back to c7. And white tries to get rid of his backward pawn, so he pushes it to e4. Rubinstein then brings the last piece to the action, rook to c8. And Rotlewi plays e5, attacking the knight. At first, it seems like a typical move, but it turns out to be a blunder, as now black can get his two bishops onto the two open diagonals. Rubinstein didn't move the knight, but first plays bishop to b6 with check, king to h8, and knight to g4. A very tricky and powerful move that sets the stage for various tactics, especially when followed by the queen to h4. If white captures the knight, then rook takes the bishop on d3, with a double attack on the knight on c3. If white tries to defend it, rook to d2 would end the game, as the bishop is hanging, and there's a threat on g2. Even if white attempts to win a pawn by playing bishop takes on h7, king takes, and queen takes the knight on g4, in the end, the rook can come to d2, attacking both the bishop and the g2 pawn. So Rotlewi plays bishop to e4, countering Black's bishop. And Rubinstein continues the attack with queen to h4, threatening checkmate on h2. If white plays h3, then rook takes on c3, bishop captures on c3. Bishop takes bishop. If the queen takes the bishop, then queen to g4, go in for checkmate. H takes on g4, and queen to h4, checkmate. If queen takes on g4, queen takes queen, h takes queen. And rook to d3 attacking the bishop and threatening checkmate on h3. For this reasons, Rotlewi played g3 instead of h3, defending the h to square with his queen. Can you spot the winning move in this position? Please subscribe and support us produce more chess content. Rook takes the knight on c3. A brilliant move by Rubinstein that eliminates one of the defenders of the bishop on e4. And he sacrifices his queen. If white tries to take the rook with the bishop, then bishop takes on e4, queen takes back, and queen takes on h4, checkmate. From this line, you can already see the importance of the knight on c3, which was aiding in the defense of the e4 bishop. The queen is overloaded, having to defend both the bishop and protect against a checkmate threat on h2. So Rotlewi plays g takes queen on h4 for the second time. Pause the video and see if you can find the only winning move in this position. Rook to d2, a second brilliant move sacrificing a whole rook. This move forces the queen to move away from defending the bishop. So, queen takes the rook on d2. Bishop takes on e4 with check. Queen blocks on g2, and Rubinstein plays the final move rook to h3, leading to Rotlewi resigning, as checkmate on h2 is unavoidable.